Sheila, the podcast. And this is a short. I'm with you today, and it took me a minute to get back to you because I really wanted to make sure that I was focused and I had something to say to you. So I was just really meditating and taking my time. I've been talking to you about making adjustments because that is what I feel that I've been doing over the last month with my whole empty nesting and then trying to figure out where I am and then my process of nesting and getting everything in order. So there's been quite a few adjustments. And one of the things that I realized is that I had thought I had made some progress and I made the adjustment once I realized some things that I was doing as far as being just self aware and noticing my behavior and how I was becoming, as I was an empty nester, I became more of a mama bear, more particular and more controlling of the space that I have for my son and making sure that no one could enter into it or no one thought they could take the space of my son. And then I realized that I could relax. Everything has been put in order. You know, we're in our proper positions. He's growing up and moving on, and I'm settling into my new life. I've done the work. I raised my child. I did what I was supposed to do. And now we're in a position more where we can sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labor. And instead of like making sure you always have everything prepared and you're ready and you're waiting for the visit or the phone call or whatever, to go and enjoy the fruit of my labor. And so that's where I've been trying to be. And so I recognize while making these adjustments, sometimes there's an ugly period involved. For instance, as an example, I went recently and I got a chemical peel for my face, my skin, and just to get rid of the old and get some fresh layers of skin. And that's what we try to do. We try and freshen up and we try to get rid of the old and be ready and prepare for the new. But in the process, even with the peel of my skin, there is a period where it's not very presentable. It's a little unattractive. It's I won't say it's ugly, it's just not where you want to be seen. And there's really nothing you can do to mask it. You have to wait for it to peel and for it to shed before the new life is there and evident and the beauty of it comes. But in the process, you have to wait. And sometimes waiting for things to get better or waiting for the change to come really is a little aggravating or irritating, or we definitely can be impatient. And so, what I want to encourage us all to do is be patient through the process, not only patient with ourselves and compassionate with ourselves. I read something this week that said, talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love. Because oftentimes we don't give ourselves the same grace that we give others. And so instead of beating ourselves up, we need to love on ourselves and talk to ourselves and talk ourselves through things like we love ourselves. And so that's one of the things I had to work on. And also it helped me to be more patient with my process. So in the process of my peel and everything, and after my son went off to college this time and I got everything back in order and I cleaned up and I felt good and I was like, this is great. At the same time, there came a period in the last couple of weeks where everything kind of got out of order. And I'm like, what happened? But, I just dealt with it slowly and I just dealt with it and let it be until I was ready to deal with it. And so just like my skin, it's still not quite fully peeled. I'm getting back this place in order. And so I had to be patient with myself because I was thinking, okay, I got it all in order. Now let's go from here. But then I kind of backslid and I, was accumulating some things where they shouldn't be and things like that. But we have to be patient. We have to be understanding with ourselves. And in the process of this time of upheaval, things have been a little disheveled. Um, I had to deal with some pressures of life and some people reaching out to me and And I noticed that when folks reach out, you kind of, there's a residue that kind of sits with you after that. And I told a girlfriend of mine, I said, I've been feeling kind of sad. And I think what happened is in that process of me feeling a little bit sad, that's when everything kind of got out of order. And I started running and I started doing all these different things and things that I needed to do, which was basically what I'd done for most of the last 20 years, doing all the things that I needed to do and doing what was expected of me and going where people wanted me to be and whatnot, and showing up for some folks. At the same time, maybe not showing up completely for myself. And that's why this is kind of a reminder as we're making the adjustments. We have to continue in it, and we have to be consistent, because it's easy to fall back into old patterns, old behaviors, and things like that. So I just want us to be mindful and continually mindful. And when we start to run like a chicken with our head cut off, realize this may not be the best behavior for us. And as far as letting people in, or people communicating or doing things that you don't want, and I'm pretty good at not responding, or not responding to whatever stimuli. But what I realize is there is something that is left behind with me. And so really trying to work through that and overcome that and realize I don't owe anyone and anything. And there is fear, I think, and guilt that kind of makes these things reside with us. But I just want us to know, let's shake it off. As we embark on our fresh starts, let's really shake it off and don't let any of the past behavior or any of the past people in your life change you or move you off the path that you're going, because it's important to stay the course. It's important to be mindful, to be present and understand where you are and what you need at this time and what you have to give, what your bandwidth is, what your emotional supply is. Sometimes it needs to be focused on you. And again, not being selfish, but you have to take care of yourself, because if you cannot take care of yourself, certainly you cannot be there for others. And so I wanted to just reiterate that, because I know that I found myself in that. Oftentimes people want closure, people want explanations, people want to be your friend. But I saw something today, it said, let them. So let them sit with, I guess, the things that caused you not to want to be in their presence, or not want to have a discussion, or not want to, like things that should be self explanatory. I am the queen of stating the obvious. There's something in here. I'm the queen of stating the obvious, but then there's some things that are so obvious as to why, people are not a part of your lives, or why you're not communicating, or why you don't want to be bothered or go back to something. It's like so obvious that it doesn't need stating. And so if that's how you feel, sit with it. It's okay, because in this time that you're sitting with yourself, you're really finding out what's in you and what defines you and who you are and what makes you tick. And that's important to know. And so it's not defined by what others want from you, expect from you, ask of you, and seek of you. It's defined by what you want. And I want to encourage you, because I've been a people pleaser in the past, and that's certainly, and I want to make people happy, but we understand we can't make people happy at our expense. So we have to be mindful of that. And as we proceed, when we're making these adjustments, know that, again, like I said before, sometimes you got to keep on tweaking it. I'm still tweaking it. I haven't figured it out, but I'm here to share the journey, because it is a journey. And I don't want us to be discouraged along the way. I want us to be encouraged and feel fully motivated, and in a spirit of expectation that something good is happening, that we're coming out of this stronger, better, wiser, able to make better decisions, more empowered, and more evolved. That's what we're looking for. And in order to get there, we got to go through a few things. We have to experience a few things, and some will be good, some will be hurtful, some will be cause anger, some will bring up old feelings, but just move forward. All you can do, keep moving forward. Don't give up. Even if you kind of backslide a little bit, remember the path you're on. And, like Dorothy, just ease on down the road. Don't carry anything that might be a load. I mean, it's amazing because I listen to these songs from the Wiz I like to watch, and those songs are profound to me. But don't carry anything that might be a load. Just keep going on that road, on that journey, and you'll get there. Just don't give up. Don't lose hope. Um, and that's what I'll leave you with today. Um, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't forget to go to lonewolfbodywear.com and get your Lovin Me tank or tee. It's only $10 for my podcast listeners. So go get it today. Use the promo code Lovin Sheila or podcast. And I will see you on the next Lovin Sheila.